Yes, I can. How are you?
I'm good.
Hanging in there?
Yeah.
How'd the maternity leave go?
In GTA, pretty good. She's back at work.
Oh, that's a good thing. So,
Yeah.
what's on your agenda for today? Just streaming and.
Streaming, one of my friends bought me this game called Kingdoms of Amalur, so I'm probably gonna check that out.
Hmm. Which one
And
is?
Kingdoms of Amalur,
Hmm. That's interesting. What's it about?
I have no idea.
I'm gonna look now. Kingdoms of.
Amular, Amular.
Here it is. Let's see. Oh, that's pretty cool. I love new games. So let's see what they have. Oh, that's pretty cool. It's third person, hack and slash kind of stuff. That's good.
Yeah.
I might check into it. Thank you for that.
Mhm.
So, you had mentioned before you were, dealing with a couple self-confidence issues. You wanna give me some background, or
Uh, I
I know it's a tough topic to talk about, but
it's also like I'm trying to figure out like if there's a specific thing, but a lot of times I lack confidence, but not in anything specific, like
mm.
general. I think.
So is it more along the lines of what you're doing, or body image, or like just overall lacking of confidence in general, or all of the above?
Yeah,
All the
all of the
above.
above, I'd say.
Um, when I was 14 years old, and this will help so you can at least understand, it's not rare. When I was about 14 years old, I was bullied, picked on, and I, throughout the years until about, I was about 22 and it stopped, but I had the lowest self-esteem about myself. I didn't, I wanted to care. I had, body images, I had body image issues, I had issues with social anxiety. I always thought I was too skinny, and I finally I grew up and I bulked up a little bit, but it was a period of time where I was being picked on a lot, and I was just, had no, for about 10 years, I just spent my whole life just wallowing in my own misery, and it's tough, but there are ways to get out of it. It's the first step really is to kind of isolate what the main issue is. It's where it started. Has it been your whole life, or is it just recent?
Um, it's most of my life, like as far back as I can remember.
Yeah, I know that's. Believe it or not, that's I think about 75% of people, even if they don't admit it, have that same issue. Just people have body image issues. People have, society the way it is these days. Everyone has this tenacity to downplay themselves. As an example, you look in a mirror, and this goes for everybody, by the way, except people who are except blind people because they can't see themselves. But but everyone has that self-esteem issue, and everyone seems to be able to look in the mirror and go, okay, well, they'll see themselves, but they really don't. They really don't see the real person that they are. It can be tough. Um,
Yeah.
I'm gonna send you a little link here if you want to check it out. It's in the text box. It's an Amazon book. I read this. This was on something called body dysmorphic disorder. It's kind of a I forgot what the book was about. I know it's about it's called The Broken Mirror. It's about like looking in the mirror and kind of seeing a different value version of yourself, and it helped me. So you could always go look into that. And it's just it can be tough, but the first step is isolating. What main things are cause the issue. What as an example, if it's a just overall lack of self confidence, you kind of got to look at it as, okay, well, what's the reason behind that lacking of self confidence? It's and it can be tough, but it's always good to isolate those variables and figure out what exactly it is about yourself or about the situation that you're not that you don't like, as an example. So do you let me ask you something. When you're playing like The Sims or one of those games, is it kind of like an alternate reality? Like it's kind of an escape from your life in a sense?
Yes.
I picked up on that. It's kind of what those games do is they provide kind of like an avatar kind of thing where it
Mm.
kind of gives you like an alternate world. I used to do that with World of Warcraft actually. I don't know how that happened. It just kind of came about. But I used to go in there and just whenever I felt depressed or sad about myself, I would just go and play a video game and just look at the avatar and just go, okay, well this is the ideal self, and that's actually a concept where there's the actual self, which is who you really are, and then there's the ideal self, which is who you want to be. So that comes the never ending question of what would you like to improve on if you could about yourself?
Mm. Let's see.
And you can think about it. It's a tough issue to talk about it now.
Yeah, I might have to think about that one.
We'll touch bases. I'm just I'm a life coach. I do consulting, but I do life coaching. I've been doing that for about 8 years now, and that's just I like helping people in that sense. So I like being able, and it's as a psychology major, I tend to focus on the understanding how the human being works. And, it's just everyone has that issue. It's imperative to understand, that whatever issue you're having, it can be solved and it could be enhanced upon. It's not always there's always ways to improve. There's a lot of methods that can go with that. So feel free to think about that question. When you're playing like a video game like The Sims or Warcraft, is it kind of like like we said, you're escaping from reality? But is it a life issue? Like life is bad, or do you consider your life? Are you happy with how things are going, or is it just a matter of self confidence?
Um, I mean, I'm not where I would have thought that I would have been at
Yeah, no one ever.
36. But
No one ever is.
but nowadays it's so hard to be exactly where you want to be in your 30s.
Oh God, yeah.
I mean, what 36-year-old wants to still live with mama and dad?
Oh, well, I'm pushing 30. I still live with my mom and dad,
Right.
so I'm happy.
But you know what I'm saying. Like, I
I
mean,
know what you're saying. Yeah, I know.
when you're like 35, 36, you don't want to be living there. But sometimes in today's day and age, it's not unusual for someone in their 30s to live with their parents because the fucking economy is so crazy. So, but overall, like, when it comes down to things that I do as a whole, I'm about to start getting paid writing, hopefully.
Yeah, that'd be good. See,
um,
those improvements in life, as you take steps, forward, started getting a paid writing job, those goals, once you get to them, that's what kind of enhances the self-esteem and long run. So,
yeah.
yeah, I don't know, it's tough. I've been there. I'm still there sometimes. Everyone, like I said, but I don't think there's a single person on the face of the earth who's honestly thinking to themselves, okay, well, this, on their deathbed, they're going, okay, well, I did life perfect. And the best thing to do is kind of just isolate what makes it, what would make you happy as an example. Like, what would the ideal situation be? Would you be in, and I know you went to school, would it be like, working a job, or would it be, getting a career going, or is it just kind of like a situational where it's out of your control in that sense?
I would say kind of situational, like, just let the pieces fall, see where they land. Hopefully they land together and not apart, but.
Well, that's where the idea of motivation comes into play. It's a matter of but you're doing well on the YouTube and you're doing well on paid writing. How's that going, by the way? The paid writing, is that advancing or?
Well, I have an article that I mean to finish. One's kind of outdated.
Mhm.
Where I'm going to be talking about in this article, which I don't think is actually going to get published, but it's more just a writing exercise that they gave me.
Mhm.
Whereas, pretty much like taking the whole Elvian thing and
Mhm.
talking about how that will affect the streaming community. On top of that, I found out, I don't know if you heard about him, or if DVS even mentioned it, but it was huge. I mean, this was huge. Like, if I was there, I would have written, as I was still with DVS, I would have written up the article. It's that huge. There's this streamer named Dylan Sims who is an EA game changer. I don't know if you know anything about EA game changers. Those
No,
are
I don't. I don't.
You have to apply, and if you get in, that you have like a contract you have to sign and everything.
Oh,
And
wow.
but as an EA game changer, you get early access to all of their expansions and stuff for The Sims. And you basically get to help promote their product while they're promoting you. And they literally invest in their EA game changers. So, I mean, for Electronic Arts to invest in you,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
it's basically like a partnership with EA.
That's pretty much what it comes down to, yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, this is a huge deal. And there was a streamer that was one of my favorites named Dylan Sims, and he would stream a lot of Sims, and I used to watch a lot of his streams. He was removed from the EA Game Changer program, and he's being investigated because of reports that were made about him.
Sexual harassment, was that the one?
Yes.
Yes, I have heard about that. I read that article actually.
That was a huge thing. I'm like, DVS is stupid if they didn't pick that up, because that literally shook the entire, that shook the Sims world.
Well, it's also kind of like what happened with Overwatch, where one main player, they had the tournaments. This guy was winning, first prizes and esports. He was doing on E-League, and they were doing Overwatch, and then he was suddenly under investigation for abusing amphetamines. You're on Adderall, I'm on Adderall, and he was abusing those, and it became this big controversy where it was like, okay, well, this guy's abusing. He literally went in an interview and just said, okay, well, the Adderall helps me play better, and I'm going like, okay, yeah, that could be true, but that's not something you say to the public. It's how did this guy get found out about the sexual harassment? He was
he was a game changer. I guess people started reporting him to EA, and it seemed like EA wasn't doing anything, so people took it a little further out. But EA said that he is being investigated. He was removed from the Game Changers program, and that's all they are allowed to say. They can't say anything.
They can't say much else. Yeah, they're under so many agreements and contracts. Right. So let me ask you a question. Because the one thing I've learned about self-esteem is when you're doing something you really love and you're making kind of an impact on something. Me as an example, my self-esteem started being it built up when I started running my first company, which was I was 17, and I was proud of that. Where would there's two concepts. There's the actual self, which is who you actually are. There's the real self, which is what others see you as, and then there's the ideal self. The ideal self is the person that you want to be, that you strive for. Now, how would you describe your ideal self? Where would you want to be at this point in your life, if you don't mind me asking?
Where would I want to be?
Yeah, shoot for the stars.
A millionaire.
A millionaire doing what?
I have no idea.
See, there's the main underlying cause. No idea.
I'm like, yeah, I'd want to be a millionaire. I think everybody would want to be a millionaire.
I think so too. And the people who don't are lying, I think, actually.
But honestly, I will say this much, because like I've had money, where like my husband got, over 40K once, and honestly, that money, no matter how much it is, it gets spent the same way.
And you know what? There was something that I forgot what it was called. Not homeostasis, something similar to that, where they track the amount of like people who won lottery tickets, like won $1 million or something, and within about 6 months, those people were no happier than they were 6 months prior to that. It kind of like levels out. So money's I think everyone wants the money, but I think at the same time everyone kind of it's a matter of getting it. I'd rather me personally, I'd rather work really hard on something and earn money from that rather than just winning the lotteries. You like I know you like writing. That's one thing you're passionate about. You also like multimedia, so um, that seems to be. Do you get like a high self-esteem as an example when you let's go back to DVS when you were writing them and you got like so and so many views? Did that make you feel like exuberant? Were you happy about that? Like just being able to see the
Yeah, I was always super happy about that.
that's
When I would get like a lot of views and stuff like that, it always made me feel good.
and yeah, it would raise your self-esteem a little bit in that point. So that day was a little better
It
after
made
that.
me want to write more, you know?
Yeah, see, well, that might be your key asset to focus on. There's a lot of ways to write, even if it's not a gaming specifically. There are a lot of ways to. I know you're good at writing. For instance, you could always self-publish a book about something. You could do a fan fiction, even if it doesn't go anywhere. The point is, uh, the best thing to do to increase self-esteem is to start doing the things you like. And even if there's no success from it, at least it's kind of like that feeling of at least I tried to do something. Like I have 6 books out on Amazon. No one's read them. I'll be honest with you. But just having them up there, it's like it makes me feel good, and those things, so maybe there's other areas you could branch into with writing because that seems to be, what makes you happy, and that's the end goal. When you're happy with something and you see like an accomplishment being tailored to, you start feeling a little bit better about yourself, and when that kind of keeps rolling and things get going, even if it's not monetary, even if it's just success in some way or another, getting published in an article or a magazine, or even just writing a book and self-publishing and not going anywhere with it. It's an accomplishment, and that's the stepping stone to high self-esteem. So um, maybe there's other outlets for you to go to, aside from gaming, as far as writing from that. Maybe there's other areas. What else are you interested in? What
Um,
fascinates you?
let me see. What else am I interested in? I like reading. I like watching Supernatural.
Supernatural.
Supernatural legacies are a big thing for me right now.
Okay, so you have an interest in there's writing, and then there's gaming. That might be that is actually an area that you could do really well in. This EA game, what is it? An EA Games Changer?
Yeah, I've actually applied twice, but I
I was
haven't
about to
gotten
say,
in.
yeah, that'd be a good stepping stone to apply for that. Well,
Whenever
what I
they open up their applications, I do apply, but I don't know exactly like what you have to do. But they have people who are smaller than me, so like I mean, I saw someone with like 100 followers or less than that as a game changer. So that kind of for a while there, I was like, it's I thought you had to be like super huge, even though I'd still apply. So I just keep applying whenever the opportunity comes up.
when does that come up? Because I might be able to help with that if you want.
Okay. I don't know when the next time is, but
I
Simguru Kate normally posts on her Twitter, so I follow her. And in Detterful's Discord where I help people with mods and like when they have an issue with the sacrificial mod or Detterful's mods, I help them by reading the last exceptions, which is basically coding, but you have to figure out exactly what the error is and what it's saying.
Let me send you something real quick. Just look in your text box. Is this the application that I just sent?
Hang on a sec.
Okay.
Hello? Oh, that's one of them. Uh,
Let me see. I'm looking at it now. It actually doesn't look too difficult. Let me see.
yeah, that,
Let me see.
yeah.
So it's just a bunch of they really don't ask anything about you, just channels and let me
hmm
see some.
There are people who, there's one girl, she doesn't stream, she doesn't make videos, but she just writes stories for The Sims, and she got accepted.
Okay, so I'm looking at this. I'm looking at YouTube URL, Twitter URL, Facebook URL. This is unconventional, but did you know you could buy those?
Really?
Yeah, I'm gonna look into that. I think honestly that would actually be a very if you could always buy YouTube. Let me see, just out of curiosity, because I've done this before and I don't do it often because I really don't need YouTube subscribers. But let me just see something real quick. There's ways to buy YouTube subscribers. It's like let's see, $21 gets you 100 subscribers as an example. So I'm just looking at the thing and it's kind of like looking at okay YouTube URL and number of YouTube subscribers, and I'm thinking, okay, well, maybe they're just looking for a number at this point, and they're probably going to check out the YouTube URL, the Twitch URL, and maybe the job in this case. So maybe we can make that a goal is to try to get to working with these, and maybe doing some writing on the side. And what I could do is we could always help update the YouTube, the Twitch, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. I know nothing about. But Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, I might be able to help. Maybe it's kind of a matter of would that make you feel like that would be something you would want to do, really?
Yeah.
Okay, we could that could be a short-term goal. Let's try to get you doing that if you don't mind.
I don't mind at all.
And I'm gonna look into some writing opportunities. So basically what it comes down to is once you start seeing yourself progress as a person, that's when self-esteem really kicks in. Now, when it comes to like body image issues, those things are. I sent you a link to a book that you might want to check out. It's The Broken Mirror. I read it when I was.
I added it to my wish list.
I would. It's a good read. It's about body dysmorphia disorder, which is something I had. I don't know about you, but it was looking in the mirror and not seeing the right what you really are. What you really look like to other people. Because to me, you're a beautiful person. It's just you may look in the mirror and go, okay, well, this it's distorted perception basically. And I had that issue, and I, not to brag, I did modeling for 5 years, and yet I still looked in the mirror and went like, "What do people see in me?" So, but that's different.
I modeled when I was 17 for I took a finishing touches class that was available to people, and after the part of the graduation of that class was you actually got to be in a back to school fashion show at a major mall out here, so that was fun.
See, that's the main thing is but at the same time, like if you were like me, you'd still look in the mirror and go, okay, well, don't see it, you don't see it.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, what do they see in me? Because I mean, you look in the magazines and they're like perfect. I know now that they're not perfect, that there's a flaw somewhere, even if you don't see it. Photoshop is a great.
I know I did it. I have one of my comp cards up on my wall from me when I was like 16 or 17, and I'm looking at it now, and I was going, damn, I had a lot of acne in that when they took that picture, and I don't see a spot on me because the lady was just photoshopping the whole thing, color correction, all that stuff. Okay, that's a start. Let's start working on some short-term goals. And I would, if you want to check out that book, that'd be good for. It kind of explains, what body dysmorphia disorder is, which about 75% of people have. It's just being able to look in a mirror and not seeing what other people see. Because I've seen your pictures, and not to sound like like I'm hitting on you. Just you're not a bad looking person. Just
give me my shake. My husband got home for lunch and he got me a shamrock shake, but he won't hand it to me, and he told me I'm a spoiled brat.
I love those. Those are delicious.
Oh man, I love them. Like if in the month of March, if my husband asks where do I want to eat, I say McDonald's.
Yeah, McDonald's is a place to go. I used to do Burger King, but Wendy's took over for a while because I liked they had something with bacon that was really good. Now I'm back to McDonald's again. So.
Yesterday, because their productivity was off the charts yesterday. When I asked what they did different yesterday, he said Brody wasn't here. Cocksucker.
Well, that should make you feel good.
No, it doesn't.
But they shouldn't.
Feel if they asked why was productivity up yesterday?
Oh, no, James, stop. I heard I didn't hear you say up. yesterday.
Yeah, the productivity was higher yesterday than it's been in a while. And she asked, "What'd you guys do different?" This fucker sat there and told her, "Well, Brody wasn't here."
Is it one of the guys that you actually get along with?
I get along with everybody there. That shit.
Still there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. I think we could work on this. We could do some short-term goals. I want to get you, if we can get the YouTube page, the Twitch page, Twitter, Facebook, kind of optimized so when the EA Game Changers kind of looks at it, they go, okay, well, this person knows what they're doing. And if you have the income, buying subscribers and Twitter followers and Facebook followers, it's unethical. I don't believe in it, but it does work. So maybe the numbers would, improve and they'd be able to say, okay, well, this is something to work on. And another area to work on, I think, would be, looking into what other ways to write, how else to get out there. There are ways to publish in gaming magazines and all that. And I honestly think you have a lot of tutorials, right, for games?
Yeah, I actually have a couple more I need to make for EA for Sims.
I think that's another goal that might, because that makes you happy. I can tell, and it might be something where if you start seeing that in print, even if it's not in a major magazine, even if it's just on another website on something, even if it's not paid, the more accomplishments you have in a year or in 3 years or in 5 years, the higher your self-esteem seems to jump. Now, body issues, that's something everyone has to deal with on their own time because that's something you can't really fix just by, obviously you can't change certain aspects about yourself. Well, you can. I mean, I started working out as an example. I was too skinny and I worked out and I got a little better. But at the same time, when you're staring through jaded eyes, it kind of makes you, that's an issue where it's kind of like it resolves itself. But I think your main issue is not an issue, but your main goal here would be to start seeing some accomplishments and trying to get that saying, okay, well, I'm 36, let's start getting things rolling. It's and that might enhance the self-esteem, which might enhance everything else. I want to work with you on this if you don't mind.
Yeah, I don't mind.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna look around on some things and we'll see where things go, and I'll message you once I know what we're gonna be doing.
All right, wait, and I'll think on the that question and try and see if I can't find an answer.
No, don't worry. I have this recorded. The recording will go to you, so I think it was in the beginning somewhere. So it'll be.
Yeah, it was. Okay.
Perfect. It was good talking to you, Catherine.
All right, later, Ryan.
Yeah, have a good day.
Bye.